time to sacrifice our sons. He didn't know how much we love him, but we fucking know it now. We're grateful for your occupation. One nation under the Goyim are all stupid, and they do our bidding now. Praise me! We didn't know how much we loved him, but we fucking know it now. USA! 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 9/11! Never forget! God bless you, America!
Yeah, the world's gone crazy. It's at war. Everything's coming along here, though, just sort of as I expected. Painting up some Easter eggs. It's still a month till Easter. But around here, you can never be too ready for all these holidays. Of course, celebrating the death of Jesus with an Easter egg that hides chocolate bunnies. That's a whole other story. Anyway, we should get talking about the peace president. Remember? Oh, this video. I could put in 1,000 totosos in this video, but I probably won't. It'll be way too long. But remember the GOP put out this tweet just 2 years ago, the pro-peace ticket. How's that looking? Like my front door? We should have a front door soon. But thankfully, at least someone's standing up to this. Tulsi Gabbard came out and really hammered Trump on this whole Iran thing.
Here are the steps that Donald Trump has taken to create a war with Iran. First, he tore up the Iran nuclear agreement.
I am announcing today that the United States will withdraw from the Iran nuclear deal.
Second, he has escalated crippling sanctions against Iran.
The sanctions kicking in at midnight Sunday target Iran's oil exports, banking, and shipping, even though UN inspectors say Iran is still complying with the nuclear
The
deal.
United States will pursue additional sanctions, tougher than ever before.
Third, he designated Iran's military as a terrorist organization.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has announced that the U.S. is designating the Iranian Revolutionary Guard as a terror group.
Today, the United States is continuing to build its maximum pressure campaign against the Iranian regime. I'm announcing our intent to designate the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, including its Quds Force, as a foreign terrorist organization.
With this terror designation, the U.S. can sanction pretty much anybody who talks to or deals with or has any business whatsoever with the IRGC.
And fourth, he continues to deploy more and more U.S. troops to the region.
Just moments ago, the Pentagon authorized an additional 1,000 American troops to the Middle East in response to growing concerns over Iran.
The Trump administration announced yesterday that a U.S. aircraft carrier and a bomber task force are being sent to areas closer to Iran.
Yes, there will indeed be hell to pay. Let my message today be very clear. We are watching, and we will come after you.
We've got to stop Donald Trump from starting a war with Iran.
Oh, sorry, that was from 2019. What's she saying now? Anything? No, nothing? A totoso.
I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so.
Yeah, but now we're kind of like the news before the news, because in my last video, right at the very end, if you stuck around to the end, Max Egan was just coming over for dinner, and I asked him about what he thought was going on, and he said that a lot of the drone attacks, especially on sort of residential places, but other places as well, were actually not Iranian, but actually Israeli drones. He also said that he expects that Israel is going to blow up the mosque on the Temple Mount and say it was Iran as well. And I'm sure some people out there is like, he's crazy. A lot of these drone attacks, they're all Iranian. Well, there's been so much evidence now, this is just since my last video, that so many of them aren't. Like here, Iranian state media say Iran did not attack the oil refinery in Saudi Arabia, it was Israel. I know what you're thinking. Well, of course Iran would say that. But they have no interest in saying that. They haven't said they're not doing all these things that they're actually doing. But they've actually begun to point out things that they're not actually doing. And even Tucker Carlson has shown that in Qatar and Bahrain, numerous Mossad agents have been caught basically using drones or setting up basically false flags in those countries.
Last night, in Qatar and Saudi Arabia, authorities arrested Mossad agents planning on committing bombings in those countries. Now, that's weird. That doesn't make any sense. Why would the Israelis be committing bombings in two Gulf countries, which are also being attacked by Iran? Aren't they on the same side? No. Israel wants to hurt Iran and Qatar and UAE and Saudi and Bahrain and Oman and Kuwait.
And then there was a drone attack on a UK base in Cyprus. And even the UK military came out and said that, yes, they were hit by a drone. It was a Shahid-like drone which targeted their RAF Akrotiri base, but the drone did not come from Iran. Now, what's interesting about the UK thing is they didn't say where they thought it came from, but they did point out it didn't come from Iran. It was likely Israel and the US, but probably Israel, which is exactly what Max Egan was saying. It's incredible. It's incredible. Like, Max and myself, we're usually ahead of all these things before anyone else even has a clue what's going on. And take note, too, that Max said he expects they're going to take out the mosque on the Temple Mount. And actually, there's been some Israelis who've already been talking about this. There's been numerous of them saying that that's what they should do.
Missiles will hit the mosque and clear the place for the third Bet HaMikdash. That could also be a miracle. If it was up to me, the last time when they shot hundreds of missiles, I would pretend that one missile came from Iran and shoot it down. You know, then all the Arabs will go against Iran, and it will be the end of the problems. You make them fight with each other, this bunch of lunatics. Never too late. You deal with a bunch of cowards.
Well, I'm sure that would never happen. You know, first of all, here's Pete Hegseth, the Department of War person. Remember, it used to be called the Department of Defense, which was also a lie, because it's Department of Offense. But now it's actually less of a lie. It's Department of War. And of course, Pete Hegseth's got his Knights Templar tattoo, kind of showing exactly who he works for. And it was good to hear from him that he said they won't do any of these regime change wars, these interventionisms, these undefined wars.
The War Department will not be distracted by democracy building, interventionism, undefined wars, regime change, climate change, woke moralizing, and feckless nation building.
Oh, sorry. I keep getting these screwed up. That was 2 months ago. Yeah, 2 months ago. He said all that. Starting to get it yet? None of these people ever tell the truth about anything. But it's also interesting that Pete Hegseth has also talked about that it's actually one of his biggest missions is to rebuild the Israeli synagogue on the Temple Mount.
And today, Jennifer and I and others had a chance to go see the Western Wall of the Temple Mount, the Western Wall tunnels, so much of the old city. And as you stand there, you can't help but behold the miracle before you. And it got me thinking about another miracle that I hope all of you don't see too far away. Because 1917 was a miracle, 1948 was a miracle, 1967 was a miracle, 2017, the declaration of Jerusalem as the capital was a miracle, and there's no reason why the miracle of the reestablishment of the temple on the Temple Mount is not possible.
Yeah. It's also now come out that there's been lots of military people are told that this is actually a religious war, and they're in the end times war. Meanwhile, they say, because I don't believe anything they say, and by they I mean anyone, like zero. Do you blame me at this point? Do you blame me for not believing anything or anyone? No, because it's all this stuff is lies. But they say they took out Khomeini. They also said they took out that Ahmadinejad guy, the last president or whatever he was. But he turned up, he's alive. But in Israel, they already got the next Iranian Khomeini ready to go. Yeah, this is the exiled Iranian Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi. Yeah, I just want to put this Zionist guy into Iran, of course. And even when this Iranian thing started, a bunch of like the War Department and all them, they're all saying this is going to just be a couple days. Remember that? That was just a couple days ago. And since then, they've actually come out. And the latest thing I saw just today is the Department of War says this probably will be going on until September. So that's, I don't know how many months. I'm going to guess 6 or 7. And of course, that's all the same kind of stuff they said about Iraq.
If we do have to take action, do you think it will be a long war or a short war?
My own judgment, based on my time as Secretary of Defense and having operated in this area in the past, I'm confident that our troops will be successful, and I think it'll go relatively quickly. But you can't
months,
count on that. Weeks rather than months. There's always the possibility of complications that you can't anticipate, but I have great confidence in our troops.
Yeah, they said Iraq was going to be, actually Rumsfeld said days, maybe weeks. Cheney said weeks, definitely not months. Let me ask Siri here. I got Siri on my phone. No, I don't. But let me act like I do. Hey Siri, how long has the U.S. been in Iraq since the very first Gulf War terror attack? Yeah, it's been decades. Decades. They're still there, although they're trying to kick them out now. Their base has been under attack by Iraqis who are kind of like, can you guys just leave? You know, you have your torture prisons, your Abu Ghraib torture prisons. You've killed 500,000 children in our country. You've caused so much chaos. But yeah, now they're trying to do it in Iran. But Iran is not Iraq. I don't think most Americans know this, or even like even Trump, even Hexit, and any of these people. I don't think they're aware. This is quite a large, ancient sort of empire. They're in most of those movies. The Persians. Like, this is not, because Iraq was sort of like cobbled together by Britain, basically. They just drew some lines on a map and stuff. Iran's not like that. But anyway, they went and attacked. And so Mark Rubio was asked, you know, why did you do this? They actually had peace negotiations, and they actually reached an agreement. And the agreement was Iran said they'll never have nukes. And nukes don't even exist anyway. See, this is all this stuff's a show, okay? And what's actually happening, right? Like, just look what's happening. Lots of Muslims and mostly Christian, but also just Westerners, white Westerners, are getting killed and will be killed in this war, basically triggered by Israel again. So Rubio was asked about that. It's like, why did you just go? I thought you had a peace agreement. He's like, well, here's the thing. We weren't going to attack Iran, but then we heard Israel was going to attack Iran. Stop me if this sounds insane. And then, you know, we figured there'd be some blowback to us. So we figured, let's just do it ourselves.
Does Congress have to weigh in? Is the president declaring war? No.
And was there an imminent threat? Did you tell lawmakers that there was an imminent
There
threat?
absolutely was an imminent threat, and the imminent threat was that we knew that if Iran was attacked, and we believed they would be attacked, that they would immediately come after us. And we were not going to sit there and absorb a blow before we responded, because the Department of War assessed that if we did that, if we waited for them to hit us first after they were attacked, and by someone else, Israel attacked them, they hit us first, and we waited for them to hit us, we would suffer more casualties and more deaths. We went proactively in a defensive way to prevent them from inflicting higher damage. Had we not done so, there would have been hearings on Capitol Hill about how we knew that this was going to happen, and we didn't act preemptively to prevent more casualties and more loss of life.
So to summarize, basically there's a group of people. They kind of hide behind the Jew thing, but they're not really that. They're actually in the satanic child raping, child eating cult. And actually, a lot of the world's starting to figure that out now. I've been talking about it for years. And they control most things in the world. And they control all the central banks and all that kind of stuff. And they're the main shareholders in all the major companies on Earth, basically, but also all the military weapons companies and stuff. So they create all this stuff. That's what's actually going on, in case you didn't know. Like, there's all kinds of like side stories and side reasons, and those are to an extent true as well. But at the very heart of it, basically what you have is this group who just likes to create chaos. And that's what the whole last century has been as well, just chaos. All the world wars were caused by them. They finance both sides. They're in on both sides, at least to certain levels. And they also play like sides that they don't even fully control off of each other. And that's what they're doing here. And they're basically trying to get all these countries to all go to war with like each other in the Middle East, the US, Russia, China. Meanwhile, they have a place that is like their terror state called Israel, which started by the Rothschilds. And the Rothschilds were very involved. They're a lower level, I think, but they're very involved in the satanic child-eating cult. And they actually have fooled a lot of these Jewish people into thinking like they're on their side and stuff. And in some ways they are, but they don't actually care about these people. They're probably going to have most of them killed as well. That's the thing, that a lot of these, a lot of the people in Israel right now are actually all in bunkers, and they're all having like their gay sex parties and their discos in their bunkers while they get all the Christians and Muslims to fight each other and kill each other, and they love it. Like, the world's so screwed up. You have all these people under mind control, and they're probably going to kill most of those people in Israel as well. They want to kill everybody, just so you know. Like, that's the real thing. That's the only thing that you should kind of be caring about or paying attention to, is this group wants to destroy the world and impoverish, enslave, and kill pretty much everyone on Earth. Maybe not like all at once, because they like to live off of their suffering, but that's basically what it is. All the rest of this stuff is kind of like side shows to it all. So incredible to watch all this happen. So what do these people get out of it, right? Like, look at all those missiles flying everywhere. Those are like billions of dollars worth of missiles. And it's the same people who fund it all. And they have all the debt of all these countries. And they have to go into more debt to get more missiles. And they just get them attacking each other. Tons of people die. They love it. That's what this is all about. But there is a lot of people getting hurt by this. Of course, there's a lot of hookers and Instagram models that are stuck in Dubai. Let's go to Sky News.
Travel chaos in Dubai, with several Instagram models and escorts reportedly stranded. Tourism expert John Bernard joins me now. What is the feeling there right now in Dubai?
Thanks, Jane. That's right. With recent travel restrictions, many escorts and IG models have been left stranded here in Dubai looking for a way out. The question now is, which country will most likely take in these escort refugees? Early signs suggest Las Vegas is preparing to take some of them in. Melbourne is also in the mix, particularly with the F1 currently underway. And we've seen a noticeable surge in one-way flights to Miami. Many of these women are currently unable to update their Instagram highlights and unable to charge 500 AED an hour. So it remains a developing situation.
You know, it is a little bit funny that a bunch of like crypto bros that thought Donald Trump was going to come in and make all the cryptos go to like $1 trillion. And we're all excited about it. A lot of them have actually moved to a place like Dubai. And now they're getting bombed basically by the very system that they were supporting. And crypto's down massively, which is kind of like what I was saying. If you read the newsletter, you should really get our newsletter. I talk all about this stuff, dollarvigilante.com/subscribe. And I'm not like laughing if someone's like getting actually hurt in Dubai, which hasn't happened too much. It's been mostly these little drones causing fires and stuff, but they have been stuck there. And it's just kind of like a little, it's just one of those weird things. It's mostly like Instagram hookers and prostitutes and actually a ton of really evil people. Dubai's like one of the most debaucherous, evil places on earth. And it's interesting that that's happening there. But I saw this and I'm like how many times have I felt like I'm taking crazy pills over the last 10 years? The whole COVID's like, how did everyone fall for that on Earth? All the insane stuff, the dancing nurses. So then I saw the United Nations had a special security meeting and it's being led. Like, I can't even believe this is real. Like, I think this is real. I don't have time to look into every single video, but I think this is real. I think actually another prostitute, which is Donald Trump's so-called wife, who's Jeffrey Epstein's ex-girlfriend, because they're all related to Jeffrey Epstein, is actually leading the Security Council of the United Nations.
The Security Council will now begin its consideration of item 2 of the agenda. I now give the floor to Ms. Rosemary DiCarlo.
And now they're talking about ground troops, bringing back the draft. But very quickly, they got out ahead of that one. Barron Trump barred from army conscription by medical exemption amid Iran war. Yeah, just like his dad. What is it? Is he because he's too tall? Because he's a Nephilim? Which that's a whole other story. See, nothing's how it seems. Nothing. Zero. Zero. And man, the Totisos, all the people. Trump's gonna save everything. Oh man. And you know, for like 10 years, that's all he said was, you know, gonna stop all the wars. It's incredible.
I am the candidate of peace. I am peace. People don't believe that. I am peace.
A vote for Donald Trump is a vote for a man who wants to end wars, not start them.
We do not want war with Iran. We actually want peace. The Iranians are clearly not very good at war. Perhaps they should follow President Trump's lead and give peace a chance.
Kamala's campaigning with warmongers like Liz Cheney. How do you think that is? She picks Liz Cheney, whose father virtually destroyed the Middle East. You know, Liz Cheney, she talks big, oh, I want war. She always wants war. Every time I was with her in the White House, we should attack this nation, that nation, nations that people never even heard of, we should attack. She's a big tough guy. She sits back in Washington, oh, we ought to go and attack Iran, Iraq. We're going to attack everybody. That's why I broke up with her. All she wanted to do is go to war with everybody. These war hawks, they want to draft your kids to die in wars, and they will never fight themselves. You know, we'll stay around the country for 15 years, just bomb the hell out of everybody, make everybody miserable. Nobody knows why we're there, you know, the wars that never end. These endless wars that we've been in, I've gotten us out of so many. We don't want to get into wars. We're tired of fighting. I'm the only president in the last 84 years that didn't start a war. Under Trump, we will have no more wars. No more wars.
Yeah, Trump's the goat of war. Hey, sorry, no offense, guys. You're nothing like Donald Trump. You guys are awesome. And you're goats. Those are sheep. These are sheep. Those are goats. That's a goat. All right. I think I figured it out. I'm becoming such an expert rancher. It took me a year to figure out what kind of animals we have. And by the way, I don't know what we're going to do with you guys, but I said we're not eating you, okay? And then we said, what should we do? Should we sell them? And I said, well, if we sell you guys, you're going to get eaten. So then we thought, well, we're in the apocalypse, so we don't want to eat you guys. Like, look how cute they are. But I have one little thing, okay? Just a little thing. If things get really bad and we need to eat something, we will probably eat you, okay? But highly, highly unlikely. Highly unlikely, okay? So I'm basically like your best friend. I know you got you in a cage here, but I'm actually protecting you from getting killed and eaten. Yeah, cool? We're all good? Yeah, thanks. Sorry, I just had a little staff talk with the animals there. Anyway, getting back to Trump. Oh, no, we're going to stop all the wars. See, the thing is, when he says it, you can't tell there's a comma in there. What he was saying was, no, more wars. Oh, this just in for the Washington Post, you know, Jeff Bezos' propaganda rag. Critics say President Donald Trump's decision to strike Iran is a violation of his promise not to engage in forever wars. In fact, the opposite is true. Trump is not starting a forever war in Iran. He's ending one. Do you see what they did there? So Trump had been saying for years, no new wars, no more wars. And now they're like, no, he's not starting a war. He's ending one by starting a war. You can't make this shit up. This is the best apocalypse ever. I can't believe it. It's so amazing. It seems so real. Like the graphics, have you seen? Like you only have a video. I can see these trees. That's way better than 4K. Like this is the best. And you never know what crazy stuff's going to happen. And all of it is actually to distract you and keep you in fear so you don't remember who you really are. Because you're not the player in the video game. Anyway. So yeah, now that he's stopping the forever war, see, he's got to get the Nobel Peace Prize at this point, right? Because now he's stopping that forever war that actually never happened. It's amazing they've been putting out all this propaganda that Iran's been at war for like decades. And that's what they're telling all these boomers who watch Fox News. And it goes into them because they're hypnotized by it. It's called television programming for a reason. And yeah, they'll read something like that. They'll be like, no, look, he's not starting a war, he's stopping it. Because it's been going on forever, although nothing ever happened. It's incredible. And now, of course, Trump's like, well, you know, some of you are going to have to die for Israel. But, you know, it's just the way it is.
And send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen. And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more, but...
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Yeah, but they're still out there saying Trump's ending all the wars. It's that 1984 quote. The final request of the regime was that you ignored the evidence of your eyes and ears. And that's really what it is. They keep saying how Trump ended 8 wars. Where are these 8 wars, by the way? There was no 8 wars that I'm aware of. I didn't even look into it. I know that he said one of them was a Thai-Cambodia little skirmish. That's still going on, by the way. Like I have a friend there with a Tesla machine healing people who are getting hit by bombs right now. But no, they keep kind of push it. And here's the kind of goy slop they get on the mainstream media.
We gave them an opportunity for diplomacy to work and it didn't.
Is this not a war of choice? The president ran, and did the president not run on not starting a war with Iran?
He ran on 2 things, ending wars. He's ended 8 of them. And he also ran on keeping America safe. This isn't a war. We haven't declared war. Everybody wants to say we're at war with Iraq.
I want to play the Secretary of Defense, who calls himself the Secretary of War, said today this is a war. Let's watch.
We set the terms of this war from start to finish. We didn't start this war, but under President Trump, we are finishing it.
Oh, so now they're kind of saying, no, it's not a war. Why? Because Congress didn't approve it. Did they ask them? Not really. Kind of looks like a war. What is a war? I guess we can get all, like, what is a war exactly? It's so incredible. But remember, for months, the Trump regime was telling people they had to go there to save the poor people of Iran. Ring a bell? Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, Libya. It's like all lies all the time. And they're like, no, they make them wear burqas and stuff, which isn't true. None of it's true. But on the very first day they attacked, they say they killed Khomeini, but they also bombed 2 girls' schools, like little girls' schools. And you know these sort of weapons that they use, they're very precise. So they actually targeted. So someone actually sat down and said, okay, yeah, on the first strike, we're going to take out Khomeini, and let's take out like 2 little girls' schools. It's so frickin' evil. Like, I joke about a lot of stuff, but just imagine your kids at school, your little girls at school, and you hear this huge explosion, and every one of the schools dead. It's kind of like a real Sandy Hook, because none of those kids are dead. They actually performed at the Super Bowl a couple years later. Anyway, I don't want to get sued for $1 billion. Then I'll have to sell my soul to Israel. No, I don't care. You can try to sue me. Where are you going to send it? Mexico? There's no mail here. What are you going to post something in the U.S.? I'm suing Jeff Urich. I don't care. None of this means anything to me. Anyway, getting back to the bombing of little girls, which is so sick, but so U.S. and Israel, the U.S. government and Israel, that's what they love to do. Imagine telling the world that you're liberating the women of Iran, and one of the first things you do is blow up a school full of girls. You know, almost every place the U.S. and Israel attacks, when I hear the other side's people, I'm almost always like, those are the good people, and the U.S. and Israel people are the super, super evil people, super. And some of them are so amazing. Like this guy, I don't know who he is, but he absolutely nails it. He's an Iranian guy talking about the U.S. and Israel attacking Iran.
Where do you see this going? Is there an off-ramp for Iran?
I think what will happen is that even if the United States is able to kill illegally Iranian leaders, the next generation of Iranians, the Iranians that did not see American atrocities in Iran before 1979, some Iranians that did not understand why their parents and grandparents were anti-American, those Iranians will take over. Now they understand why American government is an imperialist, vicious government, and a government that attacks other countries and kills little children. They understand they are fighting the Epstein class that either rape little girls or bomb little girls. This is the government that we are witnessing. We are going to fight back against that government, and we are going to ensure that the Islamic Republic of Iran will live many years after America destroys itself.
Yeah, he absolutely nailed it. They're the Epstein class. They either rape kids or bomb kids, and I would just add to that, eat babies. Like, how sick is that? Like, if I even saw anyone doing anything like that. But they always do it really quietly, nowhere around people like myself. But it's so interesting, too, because these, you know, what's kind of gone away over the last week? Can you think of anything that's kind of gone away for the last week? Anything? Like the Epstein file stuff. Hardly anyone's talking about it, but I'm still talking about it. And in the Epstein files, and this is supposed to be, I don't know exactly, but a lot of people are saying this is Jeffrey Epstein talking about Trump, because Trump was president back in 2016. And a lot of these Epstein emails are from around that time. And this is apparently emails with Jeffrey Epstein talking about Trump. And it basically says if Trump is cornered like a rat, he would begin a global distraction bombing Iran. Looks like that's what he's doing, isn't it? You know, I have to point this out, and I don't like any of these people, by the way. None of these people I'm a big fan of at all. They're all presidents of different countries. I don't even believe in countries. I think it's all stupid. I wish people would wake up and realize that and get rid of all these people. But I should point out, these men are not found in the Epstein files. So which side are you cheering for a little bit here? The satanic pedivores? Or people who are actually against the satanic pedivores, or at least act like they are? I don't even know. Like, the Iranian parliament is shaped like a pyramid and has 33 windows. Now, of course, the US has taken that over numerous times. And it's possible that people who aren't totally in their control are kind of like more in control there now. That is totally possible. And we can only hope so, really. And we can only hope they have enough weapons to absolutely destroy the aggressors here. But I don't know if that's going to happen. We can all kind of dream a little bit, right? But anyway, what this is Operation Epstein Fury. Well, when they get all the fat Americans in the foxholes fighting the people who are against the satanic pedivores, a lot of them will look down to their hat just like they did in Vietnam, which was also another central bankster-started event that killed millions of people, and they profited from both sides. But this time they can look down. Remember who we're fighting for. Yeah, it's also called Operation Epstein Diversion.
I know I said no new wars, but Jeff had cameras in all the rooms. Some of you are going to die, and that's okay. I like it. We're going to have to kill some American soldiers, but if you survive, you can come be a prop at my next State of the Union. What do you mean Congress declares war? Where's that written down? The Constitution? That shit's real? No new wars, except for a couple. Maybe just one big one. Remember how you were all talking about the FBI report of me punching a girl in the face in the 80s? Not anymore. That group chat is fire. If my still worked, I'd be cranking all day. It's all mangled corpses and fire emojis. They lied to me about when the bombs were gonna fly again. Mostly because I can't be trusted with state secrets. I mean, 50 children? That's it? I bet we can do better. Pete, put the drink down and find me more schools to bomb. Okay, Iran, now that you're in complete chaos, you figure out the rest from here. Good luck!
Bomb kids or fuck kids? Donald Trump having a tough time. Let's do both. Now that I've bombed Iran, are you going to forget about the Epstein files? Now you're a pedophile who also bombed children. You do understand how that's worse, right? Just one more thing, Mr. Trump. If the Epstein files are a hoax, why do they need redactions? And the bombings will continue until I get my Nobel Peace Prize. Meanwhile, there's still a bunch of maggots out there. I can't believe it. MAGA then. Epstein clients are going to prison. Abolish the IRS. Every gun law is an infringement. No new wars. And in less than a year, you didn't care about Epstein when Biden was president. Taxing imports will fix the economy. Red flag laws will stop mass shootings. We should do regime change in Venezuela and Iran. So many MAGA people have woken up, like Sean of SGT report. He's basically said he got fooled. And I really respect that. Really respect when someone got fooled by one of their millions of giant plans that are meant to fool everybody, but then realizes they got fooled and start speaking out against it. But there's still a bunch of MAGA people out there. It's less and less. I barely ever see them, but they sound so dumb. Like, they sound like those libtards now. When they're trying to explain things, they're trying to, like, explain why war is good and all this sort of stuff. And you just look at them and it's like, this is so sad because they're under such massive mind control and they're trying to justify things that can't be justified. But now the troops are heading off. I'll miss you, but I need to go to Iran to kill the kids like you. If I don't, then the people who rape kids like you might go to jail. Don't joke yourself. None of them are going to jail. The whole system's run by them. Do you guys get it yet? This isn't your system. I know you thought you had a phone number of a con man and you go into a closet every now and then. Sorry, you got fooled into being a slave. It's so incredible to watch, but a lot of people are waking up. But you still see a bunch of them. Like, I see them all over the place. I even see Iranian people. They might be bots, but they might be real. And here's something I want to say. I've seen at least a few that look like real Iranians. And they're like, yes, they killed Khomeini. And I can kind of understand that, right? I can totally understand that. Like, for example, let's say I lived in Canada. I'm not that stupid. But let's say I lived in Canada under Castro and with the COVIDs. And let's say any country, I don't care who, Little Kim in North Korea came in and killed Justin Castro. I'd totally be fine with that. I might not cheer because I'm not like a big cheer for death sort of person. But I'd wake up and I'd have my cup of coffee. I'd be like, great. So I kind of get it that some Iranians might feel that way. But those Iranians need to realize what's actually going on. This is a massive, massive takeover by satanic pedivores. And we'll see what happens. And I do hope that Iran or the Iranian people survive this and even defeat their enemies. Oh, man, I'm totally like, if you had to pick a side, yeah. You know, all those people, he must be paid by Russia. I don't need to get paid, bitch. I just cheer against one thing, really. Satanic pedivores. People who eat children, okay? That's who I cheer against. I don't necessarily cheer for people too much. Like when it looked like the cartels were fighting the government, I was really like, I don't know who I want to win. And then once I gets hurt, I'm like, oh, good. There's I gets hurt, I'm like, great. I just try not to get killed while all these insane people do all this insane stuff. But I do still see a lot of people talk about, well, they're going to free the Iranians. Okay, I hate to keep saying this. And I also am sad I never went to Iran. And the main reason, I always wanted to go to Iran. It was always like in my top 10 of places I wanted to go. Just to see it, because I could tell there's something quite special about it. You know, most countries are just like cobbled together by some drunk fat guy in England. Like that's Africa. that's every country in Africa, right? So they're not that special, but, you know, Iran, Persia, that's, you know, it's sort of like, you know, yeah, I'd like to see China, I'd like to see Russia, I'd like to see Persia. Because those, yeah, and Greece and Italy, because those are like pretty major places in history, right? But the reason I didn't go for many years is because they don't allow alcohol. And back then, that was like, every time I was going to go, I'm like, nah, I can't do it. Now I can, of course. I haven't had a drink in, I don't know, 4 years or something. But now it's not exactly the greatest time to go. But I wish I had. But I know people who have gone, like Patrick Henningsen, who spoke at Anarchapulco. He came straight from Iran to Anarchapulco. Like, that was pretty incredible. He said everything you hear about it is all lies. It's super nice. And just from my perspective of seeing most countries on Earth, the U.S. is one of the least free countries on Earth. It's one of the most tyrannical police state. Like, you can't do anything there. You go through a red light, you're going to be in jail. If you don't pay your extortion fees, oh, they'll track you down. There'll be like drones coming to your house. It's like, you know, one of the last places on Earth I'd ever want to live. Like, there's no freedom at all in the U.S. You're free to do as you're told, as Bill Hicks would say.
You are free to do as we tell you. You are free to do as we tell you.
So anyway, as someone who's been to over 100 countries on Earth, I can say that the U.S. is one of the least free countries on Earth. So when I hear the U.S. government saying, we're going to go free a country, I'm like, well, there's not many less free than the U.S. But a lot of these MAGA people under mind control, because they've never been anywhere, they don't even know where anything is on a map. They're like, oh, they make all the women wear burqas. First of all, there's actually a fair amount of those women want to wear burqas. I know, it's crazy. They're under mind control, too. It's all, you know, whatever. What do you care what someone wears? Like, oh, we should go bomb a place. There's people wearing certain things there. Who cares? That's their problem, okay? You don't know anything about it. It's probably a whole cultural reason for all that stuff. and you're going to go and give money to a group that's going to go bomb them all. But I do hear that quite a bit. Oh, they make all the women there. It's super oppressive. Well, here's a video of like a place in Iran.
Iran.
You might notice there's no crackheads, there's no people taking a shit on the street. Looks pretty nice. And I do have to say, I've met many Persian women in my lifetime. Big fan, big fan. Looks like an amazing place. But no, they try to make it out like they're saving them. Then you have some Iranians who don't live there anymore saying, yeah, they are saving us. I've actually seen this from Mexicans too. Some people get deep into the mind control, and then they get into the mind control, they live in the land of the free, which they don't, and then they think their place isn't free. It's crazy. I've actually seen Mexicans who are like, I wouldn't live in Mexico. It's like, why? They're like, oh, it's super danger. What are you talking about? Like, there's so much more danger in a place like the U.S. than in Mexico, but they're under the mind control. It's amazing. Everyone's under mind control. Like, there's no point in even arguing or anything with anybody. But of course, there's so many reasons for this, and here's a few.
It was never about Iran. It was always about control. Iran doesn't have a Rothschild central bank. Let that sink in.
Of 195 sovereign nations, Iran is one of 4 countries that has no central bank.
That means they print their own money, they don't have to borrow from the IMF, and they're not trapped in the global debt. They trade oil outside of the US dollar, control Hamas, so $1.2 trillion of oil runs through every single year.
Once you understand the lay of the land in the Middle East and something called the 3 Cs, control, currency and commodities, you will begin to realize that Iran is an incredibly powerful nation.
Not because they're dangerous, but because they're a threat to the system.
The largest supplier of oil to China. Iran has no nuclear weapons as recognized by the Non-Proliferation Treaty. And finally, it has no central bank.
Global debt is maxed. Banks are failing and fiat is disappearing. So they create a conflict and create a solution. CBDCs, digital ID and programmable money.
Yeah, Iraq dropped the dollar in 2000. Saddam Hussein found in a spider hole and hung in like a little crappy little hut. Libya dropped the dollar in 2009. Muammar Gaddafi raped by a pipe on a live TV while Hillary cackled. Syria dropped the dollar in 2006. I think he had to escape Syria, Bashar. Then Iran dropped the dollar in 2018. Are you beginning to see the pattern yet? So yeah, it's about oil, it's about installing the Rothschild central banking sort of evil Babylonian money magic stuff. It's about numerous things. It also could be just a big demolition zone, just like they did in Lahaina, just like they do in so many places, Argentina. Same pattern across the Middle East as during the 12-day war. Reported strike sites keep clustering in zones already slated for evacuation, demolition, or major redevelopment. Airports, ports, refineries, rail corridors, luxury zoning, urban renewal. Verify it yourself. Take the Iranian strike location, named from any article, search it with redevelopment plan, master plan zoning, new smart city. Open the planning PDF and check the dates. Compare the map zone to the damage location. When Iranian strike maps keep matching master development plans, it stops looking like tactical retaliation and starts looking like clearance by fake crisis. Yeah, it's probably that too. This is how the world is now. This is how they do rezoning now. With the new public-private partnership, also known as fascism or New World Order technocracy, that they're trying to put in. It's incredible. And a lot of these people, they all talk about, like a lot of these countries and presidents and all these people, they all talk about, oh, we've got to save the planet, right? Oh, you're going to have to pay your carbon taxes. Oh, you can't do this or that for the planet because of the carbon dioxide, which actually I haven't heard in a while. I think that's died off now, which is great. But there's still people, like when I travel, like to the US or Canada, and I get like a Starbucks Frappuccino or something, which I have from time to time. I'm still not a perfect diet. And I know it's a satanic organization, I know. So I'm not perfect, I didn't say I'm perfect. But if I do get one, I get this like paper straw, and after like 5 minutes, it's like just mush. But that's what they've been telling everyone we gotta do, right? Meanwhile, yeah, just blowing everything up. Where's all the environmental people during all this? You don't hear from any of them. It's incredible. They're like, well, I can't believe you used a plastic straw. It's like, hey, what do you got to say about them blowing up like most of the world? Well, you know, it's just the way it is. Okay. And the U.S. hasn't even stopped with all these other wars. They actually, while this was going on, if you can believe this, the U.S. also attacked Ecuador. On March 3rd, Ecuadorian and U.S. military forces launched operations against designated terrorist organizations. Oh, it's the terror organizations again. Yeah, the peace president has become the first president to bomb 8 countries in 1 year. Iran, Iraq, Nigeria, Palestine, Somalia, Syria, Venezuela, Yemen, and now he's attacking Ecuador. That's 9. Oh, and I talked about Hexit earlier. Just like Trump has his handler, that Howard Butlick, and like they can't go anywhere without him right behind them, Pete Hegseth has his handler. His name is Steve Feinberg. He's the number 2 in the department. And look who is getting money from Epstein. Yep, the guy who's basically Hegseth's right-hand man is all over the Epstein files. Any surprise? No, they all are. Trump, Butlick, RFK Jr., all of them. Kilgate, like all of these people. They're all in the Epstein files in the U.S. government. And they say they're going after the Epstein stuff. Meanwhile, here's the ambassador of the U.S. to Israel with his new song, and this isn't AI, by the way, Mike Huckabee playing Sweet Home Yerushalayim.
Torah scrolls keep on turning. Just 2 days and we are through. Then we start from the beginning. Hashem's holy words begin anew.
And I don't know if this was true, but I saw it all over the place. Al-Qaeda shocks the world, urges Muslims to back Israel against Iran. Now, if that's true, that's exactly what I've been saying for 3 decades. Al-Qaeda is the CIA, and ISIS is Mossad. And if anything would ever show that, and all we've talked about for years is, why doesn't ISIS or Al-Qaeda ever, and I mean ever, attack Israel? All they do is attack all these Muslim countries. And now, according to this, Al-Qaeda is backing Israel against Iran. So I think maybe people will finally figure out what's going on. Probably not. Anyway, I'd rather be watching this. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Todo bien? ¿Qué haces? Oh, okay. ¿Quieres ir abajo? Sí, vamos. Oh, we might go down with the kids here. Yeah, I'm having too good of a time here. Trying to wrap this up. Oh, I should point out all the alternative media all-stars, all the Mossad all-stars, like Tim Pool. He goes for his regular meetings with Benjamin Netanyahu Milkowski, who, by the way, I don't know if you know this, went to high school in Philadelphia, okay? You know, this Jew guy from the Middle East.
Look, Netanyahu went, many people don't realize, but he went to school in Cheltenham, Pennsylvania. He grew up there and visited the family of Bill Kristol, whose father, Irving, started the whole neocon movement.
And Bill is still a member, and Bill was getting millions of dollars, his foundation, from USAID.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, Tim Pool goes and meets with him all the time and walks away like a billionaire all the time. Here he was before, ending private prisons, ending the death penalty, ending regime change war. That's just my 3 top. Now, I'm happy to see the Iranian regime's collapse. I'm sure you are.
They say that I want America to fight wars for Israel. Nope. Nope. First of all, Israel can take care of herself. If Israel is forced to the wall, the possibility of nuclear exchange is extremely high. That is why it is very important that the United States provide the material aid to Israel.
What do you think about Ben Shapiro, Apples? Oh, he's a piece of shit, little Frank Costanza wannabe, little paid-off, soul-selling Mossad agent. Yeah, you got it right, Apples. Watch out, he kills a lot of people. Hey, you can't fuck with me, Ben. Fucking take your ankles off.
Broke ankles!
Whoa, Apples, I didn't know you were that hardcore. Yeah, well, you mentioned Ben Shapiro. What do you expect? Oh, I didn't know Apples was so tough. Oh, let's go to another Mossad agent. The heinous, and I mean heinous looking, Larry Loomer. Here's Larry. In 2024, just 2 years ago, the Democrat Party is the party of war. Now here's Laura, bomb Iran. Well, there goes the whole crew. See, that's Salu. She was the one who had a super bad back, and she was going to quit. Now she hauls giant bags all over the ranch, no problem. After one session on the Tesla machine, and wherever she goes, all the dogs go. And my son. Everyone loves Salu. We're so glad we still have her. We wouldn't have had her if we didn't have the Tesla machine. She was going to quit basically that day. Like, I just got the Tesla machine a few days prior, and I heard from my wife, and everyone was crying, Salu's going to quit. Because she's part of the family. She's not even like a maid so much. She's like part of the family. And I went and talked to her. She's like, I'm so sorry, I can't work anymore. My back has gotten so bad. It's been bad for years, but now I can barely walk. And I put the bulbs on her for 20 minutes, or 15 minutes. And she's been that way ever since. Now she just hauls giant bags of stuff all over the place, no problem. She's never had a back problem since. It's incredible. Anyway, it's incredible, this 3D video game. It gives you so many, like, unbelievable things. Like, did you know there was a television programming show in the 50s, in 1958, and it featured a con man named Trump, who goes to towns and warns people the world will be destroyed, and only he can save them by building them a wall.
I bring you a message of great importance. Without my help and knowledge, every one of you will be dead.
Sheriff, how long are you going to put up with this?
What do you mean?
How long are you going to let this con man walk around town?
Be careful, son. I can sue you. I don't intend to sit here and be insulted, Sheriff. If your people don't want my help, I can go elsewhere.
Oh, wait a minute, Mr. Trump. You don't talk for the rest of us.
Since the sheriff wouldn't stop Trump, Hobie had to find somebody who would. Sheriff Chet Farrow was the gun law in Talpa, and Judge Clement was the book law.
You hear about Trump?
Yes, sir. What are you going to do about him?
What do you want me to do?
Stop him.
From what?
From taking a town.
Can you prove that that's what he has in mind?
Well, it's obvious.
But can you prove it? In order to arrest him, the sheriff has to have a charge. And Trump hasn't given him a thing to go on.
Well, there's got to be some way to stop him.
Well, if there is, I don't know it. It's funny how a big lie can make us all kids again.
Hobie had checked the town. The people were ready to believe. Like sheep, they ran toward the slaughterhouse. And waiting for them was the high priest of fraud.
I am the only one. Just me.
I can build a wall around your homes that nothing will penetrate. What do we do? How do we save ourselves?
You ask, how do you build that wall? You ask, and I'm here to tell you.
You're a liar, Trump. Aren't you going to stay for the fireworks?
I've done all I can for Talpa.
Figure it's time for me to be moving on. Well, I think you ought to wait.
It's where you and I disagree.
You're under arrest, Trump.
What charge?
Well, you write it any way you like. Grand theft, fraud, I think a jury will find it stealing.
Just another weird coincidence, right? Oh, here's another one. Did you know The Devil's Advocate was filmed in Donald Trump's apartment in Trump Tower in New York? I didn't, but I'm not surprised. Oh, and while all this war stuff's going on, there was actually a vote in Congress about should they release sexual misconduct reports on con women and con men in Congress. Anyone want to guess how that vote went? They're basically saying, hey, a bunch of you have been sexually molesting people. Do you want to take a vote on whether we should, release the info or not? Well, drum roll, please. Yeah, it was blocked like 240, like 70 or something. And 76 of the female Democrats in Congress blocked the release. Yes, the same ones yelling about Epstein. The irony is wild. And that guy says yelling about Epstein? None of them are yelling about Epstein. But they are those Me Too type people, right? But when it comes to, people who've been molested in Congress, apparently one Congress person molested his aide so much that she tried to light herself on fire. And that's just one.
All right. I support Representative Mace's subpoena here, as well as the amendment to it. And I just think it's really disgusting how this institution protects itself, because y'all just half of them voted to send this stuff to House Ethics, where it's going to die. We know that members of Congress are using taxpayer dollars to pay off sexual harassment. We just had a member of Congress literally sexually harass a woman that then lit herself on fire, and you guys all protected him. You guys all protected my own side, your side. And so if you guys want to talk about victims, if you want to go out and virtue signal, and then you guys are going to kill her stuff on the floor and then try to pass it, yeah, of course, we should subpoena all of this stuff.
Oh, and the Atotosos. How many Atotosos is this video? There's like 1,000 Atotosos in this video, all of it. And I'm on BitChute. I get a few thousand views. It's incredible. And I've just nailed everything for like decades. Bitcoin at $3, the COVIDs, the October 7th. Yeah, but I'm not allowed anywhere. The whole Trump stuff, like how much did I nail that? I actually nailed it so much that it's actually far, far, far worse than I thought, which is like the bad part. Like I thought it was going to be bad. This is 100 times worse than I thought it was going to be. Like they are moving forward as quickly as possible to destroy the world, put in their thing on the Temple Mount, try to bring in their Antichrist. You can't make this stuff up, but it's happening. But so many people, just a year and a few months ago, were telling me, Jeff, I'm not watching your videos anymore. Jeff, you're so wrong on Trump. Look, he's bringing in Kash Patel, the cross-eyed Indian guy. Oh, yeah? And Pam Blondie. This completely airhead, like past beauty queen person with, I think, Erica Kirk or something, in Donald Trump's pageants. Oh, and Dan Bongino, that total meathead, like moron, conservative podcaster guy. And they're going to clean it all up. And I was like, no, they're not. And then I got so many people unsubscribed. So many people. Like thousands. I don't even have it like thousands of subscribers. It's incredible. But now, where's Bongino? Where's Kash Patel?
You ready to burn these Epstein files? Hell yeah. Let's do it. Watch it go up. That's it. Gone forever. Good job, guys. I couldn't ask for better bitches. Thanks, BB.
Burning devotion, hide all the sins. Pizza parties buried, beef jerky wings. Hide all the names of the pedos involved. takes to resolve. And data surrender. Call it a Sunday and fed you our poop. Cower and hide, our hands are still tied, and we're shabos like the goy. Bluster and hype, no action inside. A guy who likes dong, shaved Donkey Kong, and we're shabos like the goy. Back on my podcast, blowing hot air, rant about liberals, pretending I care. Trade a Brigitte, the failure's complete.
Yeah, I guess they didn't do anything, did they? Just like I said. I was even laughing because even just yesterday, a headline came out. Pam Blondie ditches probe of Biden auto pen as prosecutors fail to make Trump's case. And the reason that's so funny is that was actually a big thing these MAGA people were talking about. They're like, they're going to go after the auto pen. And I was like, what are you watching? Turn off your television. None of this is real. It's all a show to make you think, you know, cheer for your side and all this sort of stuff. They're like, no, they're going to like retract a whole bunch of Biden stuff, like the Fraudzy pardon, the pre-pardon. Fraudzy got pardoned for nothing, by the way. Zero. Well, that's not true. He got pardoned because he tried to kill everyone in the U.S. along with Donald Trump. But then all these MAGA people were like, oh, but he signed it with an auto pen. And I was just sitting there like, are you seriously? Like, you believe this stuff? And then just yesterday, they just put it out. Oh, no, they're not going to do that. No surprise at all. Hey, don't call me a cynic, but I'm starting to think these blood-drinking, Moloch-worshipping pedophiles who run the government might not have our best interests in mind. You think? See, here's the thing that hardly anyone gets. There's a group of people, and they're in control of so many things, and they're super smart, and they're super nefarious, and they're trying to basically make sick, enslave, and kill everyone on Earth. And none of these governments, none of these politicians are there to save you. They all work for them. And that's the thing that people just need to get their head around. Now, what you do about it, that's a different story. I've got some ideas, by the way. Like, really, there's not many who really run most of the stuff, or like public and run most of the stuff. There's maybe a few hundred. Just look up most of the top Jew billionaires and a bunch of the top people who work for them, like Bill Gates, Peter Thiel. And, you know, I'm not, trying to give you any ideas or anything, okay? I wouldn't want to give you any ideas or anything. I just want to make sure that's clear. But if people woke up and anytime those people were in public, something happened and those people were dead, most of the stuff would go away. You know, there used to be Bitcoin assassination lists out. Now, those went away because Bitcoin's fully trackable now. Now, I'm not trying to give anyone ideas or anything. Like, I definitely wouldn't want to give anyone ideas or anything. You can do that on Monero. Monero assassination list. Like, I certainly wouldn't put up any money to see people like all these people that I've been talking about get taken out. I wouldn't do it. Clearly, I would have no interest in that. And you know what? I might not even do it if someone did it. But if someone did do it, I think that'd be like one of the answers. But anyway, we'll see what happens. See, this is all a big 3D video game. It doesn't really matter. But, you know, if you're stuck in the video game and you're like all worried about all this stuff, if you want to do something about it, it wouldn't take very many people. It'd hardly take any. A few hundred people, maybe a few thousand. If you got really serious, sort of like in the Fight Club, you know, Operation Mayhem. And just went and all in one day took all these people out. Wouldn't that be a beautiful day? But anyway, let's go back into the news. Declassified documents link U.S. bioweapons program to Lyme disease outbreak. Yeah, military released 282,000 radioactive ticks, suppressed co-infection research for 40 years, and caused Lyme disease. You think that's bad? They injected everyone with nanotech and graphene, and everyone's going to be dying of myocarditis. And here's something interesting. There was apparently like a UK document that came out, I think around the time of the COVID's, like the COVID's 19, which if you think about it, that's like 7 years ago now, because it started in 2019. That's why it's called COVID-19. I don't know if you know that. Most people don't. Not very smart. But in that document, they actually had preparing for COVID-27, lessons in management focus and Australian general aviation perspective. That's interesting. So I actually said in the Dollar Vigilante newsletter, I've been saying this for years, that this entire collapse that could happen at any moment will likely kick off with a staged World War III. Check. We're already started with that. When you look at all the oil stuff, like the amount of things that could collapse in just the next few weeks is absolutely massive. And that's just the beginning of it. So that's the World War III stuff. I also said there could be the cyber attacks. Of course, Satan Klaus has told us that's going to be far worse than the COVIDs.
The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack.
And then just recently, they came out and said the U.S. banks are getting ready for cyber attacks. So that's two. Those are two of the things I said could cause this next massive crash. And the third one was a COVID's 2.0. Well, they just said that in that document, they're planning for a COVID-27. So that's next year. I also said they'll probably do all three. And by the way, the COVID-27 will actually be this 5 and 6G that will set off the graphene in people's bodies, and they'll individually target via AI and take down so many people. So you got to be really smart. You got to be making sure you get all of like detoxing massively, and also have all the tools available to you, because a lot of these things they're putting into you takes your energy away so much. And of course, we've got an incredible, unbelievable, miraculous discovery that just happened the last few years. With plasma coming back, the Tesla Club is putting it out. They've already got out more than 1,000 across the world. People are just healing everything with it. They're getting like super energy. I don't mean to say this to like scare you or anything like that, but if I didn't have a Tesla machine, or 6 like I do, because like I've got one in almost every room, because I want everyone using it all the time. But if I didn't have that, I would be so much more concerned about the near future than I am, because I know all of the stuff that they're going to try to throw at us. I'm pretty sure I'll get by through it all with the Tesla machine. Now, I can't guarantee that, but I'm pretty sure. Like, we've already seen it reverse so many things: myocarditis, cancer, multiple sclerosis, like everything. Paralysis. Like, there's a dog named Gizmo who couldn't walk just a few months ago, and then they used the Tesla on him a couple times, and now he can walk again. So anyway, if you have the opportunity to join the Tesla Club, I think you'd be insane not to. Like, there's nothing more important, in my opinion, as far as material items than the plasma machine. And I should also point out, with everything going on, like what are we hearing? Shipping lanes are shutting down, right? And this is just the beginning. I've also heard numerous banks have stopped allowing you to send funds to Tesla Club. Now, they accept crypto, and that's actually far preferred. But yeah, if you want to easily be able to join the Tesla Club and use a bank to do it, and you want to get it before the whole world goes into basically full-scale apocalypse, you really should rush to do it. Like, I really don't know how much longer until everything goes pretty insane. And just look what they're doing, right? They're shutting down so many things. With the cyber attacks, like, that could happen any day. Like, it could be a couple days from now, the cyber attacks, everything goes down, goes Mad Max almost everywhere. You think you're going to be joining the Tesla Club at that point? No, nothing will work. Nothing. Zero. Anyway, I've got a surprise for my son that just arrived. He doesn't even know what it is yet. But I'll show you guys once they got it unpacked. Like, we're missing tons of stuff in the house. Don't even have a front door. But my son loves air hockey. And I love hockey. I'm from Canada, okay? It's like you just have to, okay? And the fact that my son loves playing air hockey, because it's pretty hard to play ice hockey around here, but he absolutely loves air hockey. So yeah, we don't have tons of stuff. We don't have a front door. The whole other half of the house isn't done. But I made a bit of a special expenditure for him to get him an air hockey table. So we'll probably get that set up. Here's my wife still painting Easter eggs. She'll be doing this all week, by the way. Todas las semanas, chats? That's what we're doing around here. Anyway, we'll leave it there. I don't even know where Apples is. I think she took off with Sally. We'll leave it there. And good luck. What else can I say? Gol.
We might have hit a school of children, but sacrifices must be made to pay for freedom. So don't you cry out fear or the terrorists win. Grab your guns, son, and suit up. It's time to do some liberating. 'Cause you know these boots were made for marching. So marching's exactly what the fuck they're gonna do. Liberating the whole world in the name of red, white, and blue, and Israel too. And you know if we don't fight them over there, it'll be over here, and you don't want that shit, do you? The Bible says to bless that country, so what a dying for your country's just what the fuck you were born to do.